Hello friends. As we know that in the last video, um, I have explained the three term labels given to the vowels. How the vowels are named and they are given the three term labels depending upon number one, the position of the lips. Position of the lips decides whether a vowel is rounded or unrounded. If as for example, in case of u, the lips are rounded, so u is a rounded vowel, but a or e, the lips are unrounded, so these vowels are the unrounded vowel. So one label is given depending upon the position of the lips. The second label is given depending upon which part of the tongue is raised. Now here, for our convenience, we have divided the tongue in three parts. This is the front part, this is the central part, and this is the back part of the tongue. So in case of say a or a or short e or long e, this front part of the tongue is used or it is raised. So these are the front vowels, but in case of u and a, the back part of the tongue is used. That's why they are the back vowels. Here are the back vowels. In case of vowels, it is weak or schwa, strong and long the central part of the tongue is used, so these are known as the central vowels. So front, central or back, these are the labels given depending upon which part of the tongue is raised during the production of a particular vowel. So that decides the second label. The third label is given according to the height the tongue is raised. Okay, now as far as the height of the tongue is raised, it is measured like this is known as the open position. When the tongue is, in the earlier video I have explained all these things in detail. You can go to that video to understand what is open and what is closed position, what is front and what is back in exact detail. So this is the tongue is in, when the tongue is in the horizontal position, when we are not speaking, it is known as the open position. If it is raised to this height, this is known as half open position. If it is raised to this, this is known as the half closed position. And if it is raised to the highest point in the mouth cavity near the palate, here it is the hard palate, here it is teeth ridge and the soft palate at the back. So if it is raised toward this, it is known as, it is closer to the palate, it is known as the closed position. So depending upon, now here this long e, it's a closed vowel. Why? Because the tongue is raised to a height to the closed position. Okay, that's why this is known as a closed vowel. But in case of this, this is a, it is an open vowel because the tongue is in the open position. Here it is a, it is a vowel between half open and half closed position. This is its label given according to the height of the tongue. So here are the 12 vowels which are known as the pure vowels or the monophthongs, because during their production the tongue remains in the same position while these vowels are produced. So they are known as the monophthongs or the pure vowels, and they are 12 in number out of the 20 vowels. The remaining 8 are known as the diphthongs, and for their figure we will discuss it in another video. Now for the timing, let us start from the front vowels. This is long E. Okay, for the production of long E, The lips are unrounded. The front part of the tongue is raised to the close position. So the three-term label is, it's a front close unrounded vowel. Long E, I repeat, long E is a front close unrounded vowel. Now why is it a front vowel? Because the front part of the tongue is raised. Why it is a close vowel? Because the tongue is raised to a height that is close to the palate. That's why it is a close vowel. And why is that an unrounded vowel? Because the lips are unrounded. In this way, long E is front close unrounded vowel, whereas this is short E. Now see, for the production of short E, the part of the tongue, the front part of the tongue nearer the central part of the tongue is raised to a point, to the height just above the half close position. Okay, and the lips are unrounded. I repeat, for the production of short E, the front part of the tongue near the center of the tongue, it is centralized front. Okay, that's why it is known as a centralized front. Centralized front means front part but near the center, nearer the central part. That's why the centralized front part of the tongue is raised to a height just above the half close position and the lips are unrounded. So this short E is known as, the three-term label given to this short E is centralized front half close unrounded vowel. I repeat, short E is a centralized front half close unrounded vowel. Then the third of these front vowels, A, as in let, as in set, as in get. What happens is, front part of the tongue is raised to a height between half open and half close position. This is the half close position and this is half open position, and this front part of the tongue is raised to a height between half close and half open position. The lips are unrounded, so A is front unrounded vowel between half close and half open positions. So what is the three-term label for A? Front unrounded between half close and half open. So this is the three-term label given for A, front unrounded vowel between half close and half open positions. Now we have this A, as in sat, as in rat, as in man, as in can, etc. What happens is, here the front part of the tongue is raised just below the half open position. This is the half open position and this is the front part of the tongue raised just below the half open position. Lips are unrounded, lips are, for A, lips are spread but they are unrounded. They are not rounded. So A is front unrounded vowel just below the half open position. Front unrounded vowel just below the half open position. So this is the three-term label for A, front unrounded vowel just below the half open position. So these four are known as the front vowels. They are all unrounded. And why they are known as the front vowel? Because here the front part of the tongue is raised or it is used during the production of these vowels, and all of them are unrounded, and this one is below half open position, this is between half open and half close position, this is half close position, and this is the closed position. So it is a closed vowel, it is a front vowel, and it is an unrounded vowel, like that. So these are the 4 three-term labels given to these vowels depending upon the position of the lips, the part of the tongue that is raised, and the height of the tongue to which that part is raised. Now let us turn to the back vowels. Here we have these 5 as the back vowels. Okay, let us start from here. This is A. Now, A is produced when the back part of the tongue is in the open position. Back part of the tongue is in the open position, so it is back open and the lips are unrounded. A. The lips are spread but they are not rounded, so A is a back open unrounded vowel. Now after this we have another, that is A. What happens is, for this A, the back part of the tongue is raised just above the open position. This is the open position and the tongue is raised just above this open position here, and the lips are rounded, slightly rounded, but they are rounded. So A is back rounded vowel just above the open position. 3-term label for A is back rounded vowel just above the open position. Now we have another A that is known as long A. It's easy to understand and to remember. What happens is, back part of the tongue is raised, the lips are fully rounded. A, the lips are fully rounded, and back part of the tongue is raised to a height between half open and half closed positions. So it is back rounded vowel between half open and half closed positions. Easy. Long A is a back rounded vowel between half open and half closed positions. Then we have this U. This is short U. Lips are rounded, obviously. And which part of the tongue is raised? Front part near the center. So like this shorty, here we have back part but near the center. So here we have centralized back part of the tongue raised to a height just above the half closed position. It is raised here, it means it is just above the half closed position. So short U is, the 3-term label is centralized back rounded vowel just above half close. Okay, it is centralized front, and short E is centralized front and short U is centralized back. Then we come to the last of the rounded vowels and the back vowels as well. So what happens for this long U, as in fool, as in cool, as in soon, as in moon, long U? What happens is, the back part of the tongue is raised to the closed position, towards the closed position. The lips are fully rounded, so it is known as back close rounded vowel. Long U is a back close rounded vowel. Now let us come to the remaining 3 monophthongs or pure vowels, that is Shwa or weak A, strong A and long A. Here we have this strong A, and for its production, the central part of the tongue is raised to a height between open and half open positions. Lips are unrounded, so strong A is central unrounded vowel between open and half open positions. For the production of, or for the articulation of strong A, what happens is the central part of the tongue is raised to a height between open and half open positions, and the lips are unrounded. So, it is central unrounded vowel between open and half open. Then we have this one, that is long O, okay, as in bird, as in shirt. So, this is long O. Central part of the tongue is raised, lips are unrounded. So, it is a central vowel, unrounded vowel, and the tongue is raised to a height between half open and half closed positions. This is the half open position and this is the half closed position, and it is produced here. So, the tongue is raised somewhere between half open and half closed positions. So, long A is known as a central unrounded vowel between half open and half closed positions. Now, we have Shwa or weak A. It has two positions. It is something very interesting. When this weak A is used in the non-final position, means in case it is used at the initial, in the beginning of a word or in the middle of a word, that becomes the non-final position, and it is known as, for example, ago. And in that case it is produced here, okay. It is produced somewhere when the central part of the tongue is raised to a height just below the half closed position and the lips are unrounded. But when it comes in the word final position at the end of a word, for example, India, China, it is not China or India, it is weak A. So, it is in the final position, it is produced here just below the half open position. Central part of the tongue is raised just below the half open position and it is a short vowel and it is an unrounded vowel. So, since it has these two positions, it is known as central unrounded short vowel. So, the three term label for this confusion or for these two positions, it is known as central unrounded short vowel. So, here we have 12 vowels, 4 front vowels, 5 back vowels, 9 and 3 central vowels. So, here we have 12 vowels out of the 20, and these 12 are known as the pure vowels or the monophthongs, and they are given the three term labels depending upon the position of the lips, number 2 the part of the tongue that is raised, front, central or back, and number 3 the height of the tongue, whether the tongue is in the open position, half open position, half closed position or the closed position. So, depending upon these 3 factors, the 3 term labels are given, and here are the names, the titles, the 3 term labels for the 12 vowels which are known as the pure vowels or the monophthongs. Thank you.